this is a very subjective talk. So I'm not the face of all women, and I by no means am talking about statistics, nor am I making the case for the value of adding women in the workplace or how we should integrate women in the workplace, and nor is this only about women in the workplace. This is a very personal story that spans our life from us being kids to us growing up. So bear with us, and I hope you enjoy, have fun, and don't take it too seriously. If we joke, take it lightly, and reflect on some of the things that we say, and feel free to vehemently disagree with us if you do. Thank you. Let's start. So, you know that if you research feminine energy and masculine energy, this is what comes up. Masculine energy is about the left side of the brain. It's about logic. Masculine energy is about assertiveness, decisiveness, the ability to take action, being firm in a sense of self, and being in control. While feminine energy is about the right side of the brain. It's emotional, it's feeling. Feminine energy is about acceptance, nurturing, loving, being, and presence in the world.
So, do you think that all the words that describe a woman apply to you, and none of the words that describe a man apply?
Not at all. I mean, I can be very sweet sometimes, but I can also be intimidatingly aggressive.
I love feeling tough at kickboxing classes and playing super cute to my brothers.
I find that I love belly dancing, but I also love to watch a brutal fight movie.
Yeah, I can be very serious and strict in a meeting and crack jokes and be fun with my colleagues after.
And talking about work, I really find that I rely on my ability to be nurturing and lighthearted. And I also rely on my ability in the same conflicts that I would resolve in being lighthearted and nurturing. I rely equally on my ability to logically break down problems and come up with solutions.
My team depends on me when they want to make an action, and they also come to me when they want an unjudgmental ear.
I can hear you. I can actually see that about you. I find that I get things done at work because I have a firm sense of centeredness and a comfort in making decisions. And yet a lot of that comfort comes from my ability to listen and take good counsel.
You know, growing up as a girl, I had a family that empowered me on so many levels as a human being. Maybe because of that, I never felt that I have to fit in a girl stereotype at home.
Nor did I. I mean, growing up as a girl, I would have my Barbies sit down and have these endless conversations over washing dishes and cooking dinner. But then again, I also loved to line up my tanks and little toy soldiers and play war with my dad, or drape trees with sheets and climb them with my cousins and pretend that we're on a spaceship off to outer space.
Yeah, when I was a teenager, my wish was to do kickboxing. I never did. Maybe because there was no kickboxing academy for girls. As girls, we had no access to girls only or girls inclusive kickboxing classes. 6 months ago, I finally got to live this dream, and I joined an academy.
Talk about teenager. That was the time where I first started understanding, A, that I'm a woman, and what that means. Now, let me tell you, I really, really hated the stereotype of a woman. To me, being a man was like, freedom. Like this freedom from societal obligations, this freedom from rules, this freedom to determine who you want to be in life and carve out the path that you want to take. To be a woman was like this prison, like this limitation. Like, you notice how so many of the conversations that we had about women were about rules. I mean, what is a girl allowed to wear? When does a girl have to come back home? is a girl allowed to work? And if a girl is allowed to work, what jobs are available to her? And if a girl is to marry, which, I mean, of course, all you and me agree, the girls have to get married, right? We have to get married. What name should we take? My husband's? My father's? And I decided then that I will beat men at their own game. And I will do that by being better at guy things than guys themselves. Guys are logical? Roger that. I can be logical. That's not so hard. I spent countless hours debating with my dad anything and everything just to hone my logical skills. Guys are strong. I learned to take up physical space. You want me to be loud? I know how to be loud. I learned to be aggressive and aggressively go after whatever I wanted and get it, despite whatever obstacles stand in my way.
See, I think what you call guy qualities, like strength, are not only restricted to guys. We are conditioned in a certain stereotypes, yeah, but situations sometimes force us to get out of those stereotypes, to grow up. Like in 2011, when my sister was diagnosed with cancer, I knew there that I must prove to myself, to her, maybe to the disease itself, that we're gonna go through this. I remember that I had to take care of her 20-day-old baby for 3 years. I cooked for the family, I helped my siblings with their studies, and I had to take care of my university studies as well. I knew then that my parents needed me to be strong, and I knew that I need to lead the family to get through this. Before my sister's illness, my sisters and I, we were relying on my brothers and father. We never thought that we need to be strong. But when she got sick, it forced all of us, my sisters, my brothers, mother, and my father, to find the strength to get through this.
I mean, you're talking about leading your family, and I'm thinking, you can't really lead if you're not strong, can you? So tell me, what comes to mind when I say leadership?
Power,
Composure.
logic,
Decisiveness.
winning.
I know your story is about personal leadership, but it got me to thinking about leadership in a professional corporate setting. Do you notice how our corporations at heart are about rules, deliverables, measurable results against targets? If it can't be quantified, forget about it.
I know no woman is the 100% stereotype, but could you imagine a world where corporations were run 100% by stereotypical females?
100%?
Stereotypical females.
100%, are you
Yeah,
sure?
yeah.
Okay. بلقوا طريقة يتبعوا فيها عملة الحنان الدولية لتشجيع الاستثمار.
When corporates start to make a profit, spend all the money by celebrating buying clothes, shoes, and makeup.
Wait, I don't even think that women would be, those stereotypical women would be even interested in starting up companies. They'd be too busy connecting with communities, having conversations, and just being.
I know that we were joking about how an extreme female stereotype would be at work. And I know that we keep talking and having these conversations about gender-inclusive workplaces. But do we really still bring women on men's terms?
Okay, if I get your question or your sort of musing right, personally I think that, yeah, we do talk about bringing women to the workplace, but we're talking about bringing women to the workplace still on the leadership definition that is based on men's terms. I mean, to be honest, For the longest time, I thought that to be a successful female leader, what I had to be was strictly to adopt the male-oriented definition of leadership and stay away from anything that would, God forbid, stigmatize me as being weak or being emotional. I thought that to be a successful leader, I only had to be cold, composed, calculated, and pragmatic. These are the leadership qualities. And by doing that, I found that I cut off a huge source of my power. My power that comes from passion. My power that comes from my love for nurturing and guiding. My power that comes from my love for starting conversations that spur personal and professional growth. And my ability to listen to those who disagree with me and sometimes even defy me. Admit when I'm wrong and change course.
Not only that, detached, logical, objective are mandatory for the successful leaders, but empowering and accepting the personalities, feedback, and opinions for the colleagues are an added value. They're not a must.
Tell you something though. Control, assertiveness, focusing only on deliverables and outputs hasn't really worked for me in my life. When I was in my early 20s, a group of my friends and I decided to start this organization. Our aim was to create a community of conscious artists of life. We called them Changemakers. Our modus operandi was no excuses, make it happen. We all worked on the organization for free and had to have 2 or 3 jobs to pay our bills. We spent each 60 to 70-hour work weeks for probably 1.5 to 2 years. We would spend countless hours and evenings in our friends' basements sketching out models and drawing out ideas for our organization and writing up proposals until the early hours of the morning. We had no room for failure. We had no room for slowing down and compassion, nurturing. Are you kidding me? Those things got in the way if we were to perform, achieve, and win. We didn't care if one of our colleagues didn't know how to get a task done or couldn't get a piece of their work done. You either found a way or you got out of the way. We fired a friend because he got too sick for a while and could not show up for work. And I thought it was all right then. I mean, the only real measure is results, isn't it? I was next. I still remember the last day at work. I walked home to a dead silent apartment, sat down on the couch, and realized that the only thing I had built in my life for the past years was my work, which was now over. I tried calling a few friends and family, but no one picked up. And not that I thought they would. I mean, I haven't called them in ages, so why would they really? I turned on the TV on low volume, walked to my bedroom, curled up, and imagined I was home in Amman with my parents watching TV not so far from me. And that was how I got through that night. Tell you what, though, shortly after, the organization closed. We didn't win. We all lost the organization. We all lost each other as colleagues and friends. And I think we lost because we thought that to be successful world leaders, it is enough to be cold, calculated, pragmatic, and logical. So we didn't create spaces to be nurturing, to be compassionate, to be good to each other when our team needed it the most. We thought that each of us had to be strong on their own all the time. So none of us really felt comfortable coming up to each other and being vulnerable and saying, hey, I really need your help.
I was thinking, in a way, leadership is about both, isn't it? I mean, leadership is about power, the power to take, to control, to discipline, to be composed and rational. Leadership is also about the power to be patient, to give, to love, and to listen.
Okay, look. We were joking about what corporations would look like if they were 100% run by the fictitious female stereotype, but bear with me. Oh, what would a world look like if it were run 100% by the male stereotype without limits?
Like if someone in the street defies you or tries to intimidate you with a lock, shoot them?
If people ideologically disagree with you, wall them out and cut them off.
If an employee fails and costs you thousands of dollars, make sure they never get a job again.
And if a country defies you, go to a war that would cost you tens of billions of dollars and 50 million lives. That's a really wise solution.
You know, it is no more ridiculous to imagine a world that is run 100% by accepting and feelings than it is to imagine the world that is run 100% and purely on detached logic and aggression.
Now, I think that when we're talking about men and women, we're talking about male energies and feminine energies, and these are two different topics. And what I'm saying here is male energies and female energies, when they're imbalanced, destroy more than they create. So today, more than ever, it is vitally important for us to adopt a new definition of leadership. One that places as much emphasis on creating the space for conversations as it does on meeting measurable outputs. A new definition of leadership that praises power in equal measure with the ability to empower. A new definition of leadership that celebrates our power to decide and take action, but only when this power does not come at the expense of suppressing the multiplicity of voices and alienating the people and the communities that are most affected by these decisions and actions.
We are men and women in this world.
No one man is strictly 100% a stereotype, but then neither is any woman 100% a stereotype.
Each stereotype, however, has something to teach us about who to be and who not to be.
But only if we stop acting from a place where we think that we have to prove that we fit a stereotype or defy it.
And instead accept both energies to be within us.
Only then can we find who we truly are.
And only then can we be better leaders. Leaders who are able to face the challenges in this world and to...
Leaders who are able to face the challenges in this world and take advantage of its numerous, abundant opportunities. Thank you very much.